Hello, my name is Paul Kim. I'm a professor at Georgetown University School of Medicine and the Vice Chair of Research for MedStar Plastic Reconstructive Surgery in Washington, D.C. Today I'm going to talk about our newest study that was recently published, correlating autofluorescence from the MolecuLight IX with standard culture methods. This study involved many different investigators at a single institution in Washington, D.C. For disclosures, the MolecuLight has provided the device and technical support and funded the processing of bacterial samples. They were not involved, however, in the design or execution or analysis of the study. This data, as I said, is now published in Wounds. I just want to introduce the topic today. This study was designed to assess the debridement and its impact on bacterial amount using various different techniques, including qualitative and semi-quantitative cultures, and quantitative cultures as far as colony-forming units are concerned. Bacterial fluorescence is also tested in this study, looking at its correlation with these standard methods. Study objective number 1 was to determine the effect of clinic-based sharp debridement on bacteria. Study objective number 2 was to validate the use of bacterial fluorescence. Here is an example of a before and after picture of bacteria that's fluoresced under this camera system to assess for whatever bacteria is on its surface. As far as methodology is concerned, this is an IRB-approved study. The data was prospectively conducted at a single institution in a single clinic visit, with the eligibility criteria being no clinical signs of infection, age 18 to 90, lower extremity ulcers, and must have had sharp debridement performed in the clinic. As far as cultures were concerned, these images were taken before and after the debridement was performed with the MolecuLight fluorescence imaging technology. The quantitative cultures were performed utilizing pyrosequencing in the units of colony-forming units. The standard semi-quantitative and qualitative cultures using the standard Levine technique on agar plating. An a priori power analysis was performed to identify the number of subjects in the study, which was a total of 36. As far as the statistical concerns were addressed, we used the Wilcoxon rank sum test for bacterial fluorescence and quantitative culture data, and Fisher's exact test for semi-quantitative and culture data. Here are our results. As you can see, the demographic table, you can see the mean age of the patient, their gender, and their BMI. And you can also see the list of comorbidities listed on Table 1 and the wound characteristics on Table 2. This slide further characterizes our wounds, including their wound location, their etiology, wound surface area, and volume. Here are our results, looking at bacterial fluorescence as it relates to quantitative cultures and semi-quantitative cultures. As you can see, there was no statistical difference between the pre- and post-debridement bacterial fluorescence or the semi-quantitative cultures. However, there was a statistical difference between the quantitative cultures between the pre- and post-debridement. However, there was no log difference in reduction. This slide reflects the diversity of bacteria that was captured on qualitative cultures. There is no consistent pattern as far as what happens to these bacteria pre- and post-debridement. There are limitations of this study, however. It is unknown what the wound duration or etiology and how that plays a role between pre- and post-debridement cultures, quantitative cultures, or bacterial fluorescence. Further, what serial sharp debridement has on bacteria over time is not known as well. This was done within a one-visit time point. And the ultimate clinical outcomes as related to the culture results are also unknown. So the conclusions are, our results imply no immediate effect of debridement on bacterial amount, moderate to low amounts of bacteria, and bacterial fluorescence does correspond to the other standard culture techniques, including quantitative cultures. Due to the high utility as a point-of-care device, the MolecuLight IX has meaningful potential in daily clinical practice. We still believe that regular debridement is necessary and can enhance the healing through downstream effects not necessarily related to bacterial amount. Thank you.